middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war.
Well, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. I am having to pipe my tobacco. I'm filling my pipe. It's 32 degrees out here in my shop right now. So I've got some alcohol.
That's going to make it colder.
Bruh, you know how many sub freezing temperature rucks I've been on, and my Camelback was filled with nothing but Red Bull and vodka.
It doesn't mean it kept you warm.
It kept me from noticing the cold.
No, Adrian is not cosplaying as Tim Pool. He's just cold.
It's cold out here. I almost thought about wearing the one. My wife crocheted me one, and I love it, and she hates that I love it. But I should have wore it, but or I've got the Cousin Eddie one.
Oh yeah.
My mother-in-law got that for me as a joke last year, and I loved it. And she was shocked that she loved it. But, yeah, I have some Christmas cookie pipe tobacco from Boswell. And a St. Nicholas pipe from, what is this, Peterson, I think? Or Seven Alley. And I only smoke this during Christmas. Shalom.
He will be using his $7,000 to improve his studio.
Gonna put some heat in this thing.
You use a torch for your pipe, or is that a soft lighter? Okay. It's like, surely you're not that much of a heathen.
I can't afford one of those, I can't afford. I don't want to afford one of those $140 pipe lighters. I just don't see the point. Like, why? It's more or less just a status symbol more than anything. I just need fire. Yeah, like one of those.
Like one of these.
You're bougie.
Yeah. I'm basically a basic white girl for all my hobbies, I guess.
How was Christmas?
It was good. We were finally feeling all better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that
we were still sick Wednesday and Thursday. It's like we missed Christmas Mass, unfortunately, which sucks. And we didn't get to travel to see family and stuff like that, like we had wanted to. But this weekend, when we finally were feeling better, we decided to do a little staycation and go to a hotel like 20 minutes away. That is a good restaurant and a nice pool, and the kids swam a total of like 14 hours, I think, this weekend. It was to the point where I'm like falling asleep, at the side of the pool, like watching them, but they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, ours was good. I found out some interesting things this seeing some family.
Oh boy.
So we had ours. So we have Christmas Eve. So we get together with the family like usually 2 days before Christmas Eve, because Christmas Eve is for us and Christmas Day is for us. And my in-laws stay with us, or they have in the past stayed with us Christmas Eve, and they'll wake up with us and the kids and everything. And it was good. It's to the point where I like to spoil everybody, but I hate when they get me stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I've got my brother-in-law is probably the best gift giver I've ever met. Like he just nails it every year on some. And it's like weird stuff I never knew I wanted. You know, like this year he got me a boar snake that attaches my iPhone. And then he got me
that's cool.
A bunch of really cool tools. And I was like, man, I had no idea I wanted this stuff, but I do. I'm glad I got it. You know,
So how many guns have you inspected the barrel on now?
I won. I only done once so far. I've been so busy. I haven't been able to. You know, because right after Christmas, the day after, we went up to Louisville. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and so a lot of my family's up there and then in Lexington. And we went up there and we stayed at the Brown downtown. And I went around visiting some family I hadn't seen in a few years. And then the whole reason for us going up there is my daughter, has been she's really been working on getting enough responsibility to get her own dog.
Yeah.
We have 2 German Shepherds now, and they're German Shepherds, but she wanted her own, and she's really done well. So we found her a dog, and I told her I would, you know, as her Christmas present, I would give her half the money. She'd have to do the other half, just to make sure she has some skin in the game on it. You know, she makes sure to take care. So we went up there. It's a great Pyrenees and Golden Retriever mix, and it's just a polar bear. It's a little polar bear running around my house.
Sounds like it.
And it's a cute little dog, you know, but it's still a puppy. It's only 9 weeks, but it's huge. When I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's only 9 weeks. That's like a full grown dog almost. You know, I was like, how much bigger is this dog? I was like, well, how big is the mom? Oh, the mom's only 70 pounds. Like, that's not too bad. How big is the dad? Oh, he's about 130. Like, this dog's gonna be 100 pounds. I'd guarantee it. Every bit 100 pounds. It's way bigger than my 2 German Shepherds. But I've been in the car probably 20 hours over the last 72, just driving everywhere. But it's been good. The kids loved it. The Brown down in Louisville is like this is
basically
that's exactly what she looks like. She's a little polar bear running around my house right now. But the Brown downtown in downtown Louisville is the way I compare it, it's like the hotel in Home Alone 2.
Okay.
Just real beautiful, right? And the rooms are okay. You know, rooms are good. They're like, you know, they're spacious enough and everybody. But it was just a good little trip. You know, just a good little Christmas.
Yeah.
Got to spoil everybody, which is my favorite thing to do. And in fact, right before I came on, I had to finish putting together the dollhouse I couldn't do before we left.
A dollhouse, huh?
Yeah.
Just wait till I do, yeah.
Yeah, how's your
just
girls?
think wait until that little puppy has an accident in the dollhouse or something like that.
Hey, it's around our house, things don't survive very long. So not with the kids and everything, they break everything. But we'll see. My oldest daughter's had her dollhouse since she was like 5.
Really?
4. So she's had it a long time, but she takes care of everything. So that's which is why she got a dog, because she's very good and very responsible. It was good. But so things I found out this weekend.
Let me guess, you can immigrate to Israel?
No,
you're not Jewish.
Not that good. Not that good.
Okay.
I found out that the baby boomer generation is not, at least in my family, is not as bad as I thought.
Oh, really?
My uncle is.
And no, we're never going to find out what his uncle is.
And it's mostly because of his.
Whoa. You cut off right when you said my uncle is. Oh, man. Really? It's doing this now? First off. Okay. It cut off right when you said my uncle is.
So my uncle is asking all the right questions.
Good.
And it's mostly because his kids. I've kind of clued him in on some things. And so we were talking about, he's like, do you know who's in charge of Pornhub? Do you know who's in charge of APAC? Do you know who's in charge? Like, Unc, say no more. I know exactly what you mean.
Hold on. Let me throw you some Instagram reels your way. You're like, I
2
got
days
this
before-
banger of a song. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, let me sing you this song. 2 days before that, I'm at my godmother's house. They have a house down on the lake in Kentucky, and her kid or my cousins were there. That topic came up too, and
Really?
he's making sure my godmother knows exactly what's going on out there. I was like, man, is it just my family? Are we like the anomaly? We're just clued in. Is that what's going on? But it was good, man. We enjoyed it. It's always nice to go and see family you haven't seen in a while and find out some things you didn't know about them. You know,
Yeah.
it is sad. One of the sad things about that whole side of my family, they're all cradle Catholics. Like Louisville is super Catholic,
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a Catholic church every 3 blocks, and it's sad because I have to catechize my family. My godmother, my godfather, who we saw on Sunday, loves Taylor Marshall. Him
Really?
and my aunt, they both love Taylor Marshall. So it's just getting to know some things that I didn't know before. It's been nice.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. My state made the news in a big way over the weekend.
Man, has your state been making the news?
Oh my god, man!
Golly, and you know what? And it's caused a cascading effect amongst other states. Like now, it's like in Maine, Vermont,
Columbus,
Pennsylvania,
Ohio,
New York, Oregon,
Idaho.
It's everywhere. They're finding this stuff everywhere.
Like, I mean, let's be real. When someone digs into California and New York, it's going to make Minnesota look like a pittance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be real bad when we start getting into some of these ones. We're like, we know where all that's going. We know exactly who's going to. You know, and then that story is coming back up from Minnesota. That congressman that y'all had, the state congressman that was shot and killed, and the shooter admitted that Tim Walz
claimed
that Tim Walz allegedly paid her.
Now the guy does seem nuts, like legitimately like crazy.
Well, but anybody who murders somebody in cold blood is
true. But it is very interesting that the two people who were there were 4 people shot, but the two lawmakers that were shot were both. One was the only Democrat that joined the Republicans in trying to defund health care for illegal immigrants. And then the other was a Democrat who had been talking, with Republicans to potentially vote against it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird, right?
Yeah. So what's the sentiment in your neck of the woods about all this coming out? Like, are you just aware of it because you're on social media, or is like the local news covering it?
Oh no. There's no local, like, I don't really look at like the local news, but like the news in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, St. Paul, not covering it at all. Like the big story the last 2 days was the snowstorm we got. The snowstorm that we got in Minnesota
every year, right?
In December. Why is that a news story?
North?
Yes, all the time.
Like, because it's precipitation comes down, it's cold, so
if it was end of April, maybe that would be a story then. Even then, not so much. But end of December, come on. Yeah. Paul is in Minnesota. No one is, and like I haven't like asked a bunch of people I know, but I really doubt most have heard a thing about it, which is crazy because 115 million people saw the video on Twitter.
Yeah. I think the only time it'll start really being covered a lot is when high profile people get arrested.
If they ever do.
Yeah. If they ever do. But it's just a matter of, they hide all this stuff because they're all implicated in it. Right.
Yes.
So for example, did you see on social media today that over the weekend a banquet belly up?
Supposedly, right? That's the rumor.
No, it went belly up. and I know some people who, and I know the bank.
It's not the one they were all saying, is it?
It's a big one.
Not
A
JP
really,
Morgan.
really big one.
JP Morgan?
And they bet against the wrong way on silver real bad. And it's like the government's having to step in, and which is sad because the government wouldn't step in on me if I couldn't pay my mortgage. Right. But
yeah,
a giant bank goes under, all of a sudden they're too big to fail, and it's stupid. But yeah, it's that basically that bank is owned by the government now.
it's weird that they haven't announced it.
They won't, just like they never announced when GM paid back the government for all the money they lent them to stay afloat. No one ever, like, everybody still thinks like GM's still owned by the government. Like, they're just never going to announce that stuff.
Crazy.
So it's been some things are going down. Like the cracks are starting to get a little wider. It's just going to get worse.
Well, so the bank thing was all because of silver, right?
Yes. Well, because silver is it's a precious metal and an industrial metal.
Yes.
It's used in fact, in every Patriot missile, there's like 7 pounds of silver.
Really?
Right.
That much.
So it's used in all kinds of technology and things. So it's used in that aspect. On the other side of it, as well as a lot of investment entities, we'll say, who deal in silver, don't deal in physical silver. They deal in paper silver, where they say, hey, you're going to own this much silver, but it's in our storage, and this is how much you have, this is how much you bought according to your portfolio. But they're not telling anybody like 30 people own that same silver, right? There's just not enough to cover it. That's why you've seen silver basically, go up 150% over the last, since July, really. Because I just sold some silver back in, it was July, and I had bought it spot of 22, and I sold it the spot of 40 back in July. And I was like, oh, that's as high as it's going to go. I'm going to buy it again here in a couple months. I was wrong. Real wrong. I was like, I'll buy it when it gets back down to 24 or whatever. Yeah, that's not happening. Not anytime soon. So things could get fun. We'll see.
Yeah.
I want to bring this up by Paul. Do you guys have family that goes hard on the gifts, like too many? How do you, or have you handled that? So in our family, when it comes to the kids, they get 3 gifts from us. Okay. One they need, one they want, and a holy gift. That's all they get from us every year. And then, the other family will get them gifts, and that's not part of it.
Right.
What we give them is just the 3. We do stocking stuffers too. Like, it's usually like chapstick and candy and whatever, just little odds and ends things. But we've had to really tone down the gift giving because a couple of years ago, I spent a lot of money on gift, and we were still only doing the 3 gifts, and I still spent a lot of money. It's bought really high quality things, and we got to tone this down. It kind of set me back for like a month or two. The amount of money, we had to kind of tone some other things down because I had spent so much. I was like, this is not what this is about. Right. So we've kind of toned it back. We set a budget now and everything. But like the rest of our family, I don't mind them splurging on the kids. I don't want them getting me anything. Like, you get gifts for my kids, and they'll be a gift for me, right? Because my kids enjoy it, they love it, and they usually give them really good gifts. For instance, my brother-in-law, he's in the music industry in Nashville, and he gave my son a guitar. My son is very musically inclined. He's 9 years old. He's been playing the piano since he was 5. Taught himself how to play the piano pretty much. And that was a great present. They would get more presents. We celebrate Hanukkah. But yeah, we had to tone it down because it started getting out of control. So we had to really, and which sucked the next year. Because like the next year when we kind of dialed it back, the kids were like, "What is this? Are we Jewish now?"
Danny, did you make a couple tweets about Israel or something?
Yeah, but it's been good since and it's really just a matter of reinforcement to the kids too. Like, what are we actually doing? What is the purpose of this season?
Yeah.
And then not only that, but not celebrating Christmas till Christmas. Like we've made it a purpose to only celebrate Advent up until Christmas, up until Christmas Day. Well, Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, we decorate the tree, go to church the next day, make sure we go to mass, make it a priority. Even if family is in town, like, sorry, y'all gonna have to be without us for a couple of hours while we go to mass. And that's the kids have started to see like the priority there, which has been good.
Yeah, we do, mostly guess Christmas Day, but then, throughout the remainder of the 12 days, we'll do a couple other small gifts throughout them just to, keep reminding them like Christmas isn't over yet.
Yeah.
Because, out in the secular world, people are taking lights down the day after Christmas and stuff like that.
Who are we talking about here?
That's what I'm wondering.
So one thing I've learned being in the trad Catholic space over the last, 7 years, there's a lot of people who are online trads, and that's it. They may go to a mass, maybe, but a lot of them are online only, and that's their persona. Like they're just being like the curmudgeon trad is who they've built their personality around. And you also have to remember that a lot of traditional Catholics live in very high population urban cities that have never really had any type of Second Amendment that they could actually exercise.
Yeah.
So they've grown their entire life thinking, well, guns, shouldn't be a thing, right? You're seeing a shift in that, which is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to shift that thinking. Like, the right of self-defense is paramount, right? It is incumbent upon you, and it is a duty as a husband, as a father, as a man to protect the innocent. And that's what we're trying to help convey here. But I would be happy for anybody who wants to have a discussion on this and has the opposite opinion to come on here and we'll discuss it. Right? Like, why do you think that? What do you think would be better? But the problem is they've only thought down about half an inch into that topic. Once we start pulling in some instances and some statistics and anecdotes, it all starts falling apart. And then they get mad and they rage quit, and that's the end of it. So if you let me know who it is, I'll be happy to invite them on. We'll discuss it with them.
So many trads are they can be very sheltered in many senses. So many of them are so deep in books and haven't had any experience with, like, not to be cliche, but like with the real world, that they don't recognize the paramount importance of being able to defend yourselves.
It's a sad state of affairs that most men have never been in a fight, like never been even punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And how can you know who you are or what you're willing to defend if you've never even experienced a little bit of pain in the nose from getting hit in the nose? Right. And it just shows your lack of resilience and pursuit of resilience. Like, I can't tell you how many fights I've been in growing up. That was before I joined the Marines. I've been like, I got jumped by so many guys at one time. Like both my eyes were sold shut. I couldn't see. I couldn't go to school for like a week, and this was in like 6th grade because I got jumped by these guys. So, but it didn't stop me from further defending myself, defending my brother. Right? Me and my brother have gotten in worse fights than I've ever been with anybody. Like I've stabbed my brother with a fork. So,
Was he trying to
like
steal your food?
I was eating, but he was trying to impress his friends he had and tried to shove my face into the food, and so I stabbed him with a fork. And then we got in a knockdown drag out fight from that.
You know, that honestly seemed entirely reasonable.
We used to have crayon fights in the basement. Like he'd be behind one couch and I'd be behind another couch, and we would just break crayons in half,
you were destined to be a Marine. Just destined.
Who knew? Who knew what God had?
So should we get into the actual topic here? Every time his internet freezes, I'm just going to do this. I'm not even clicking it. He's clicking it, so he can click on things. We just can't see or hear him. Oh, okay, there he is. He's back. Oh, there we go.
John, let me switch to my phone. Maybe that'll help.
Your internet's freezing because it's so cold out there.
We're not used to it. We're not used to it at all. There we go. We'll do this.
No, if you're switching your phone, it's going to disconnect completely for half a second. And now we call this one Chipmunk Adrian. Oh, no, sorry.
I think I'm just too far from my router. I think it's
probably.
I got to try and figure out a way to get it out here. I don't, because I want to get Starlink, but I don't want to use it all the time. I'm a happy guy. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm jovial, downright. But I was going to say, it's too hard going to midnight mass with kids, man. It's just, they're just not able to do it.
The nearest midnight mass to us of any kind is 2 hours. The nearest Latin midnight mass to us is 4 hours away. So,
yeah, that's not much of a feel.
Y'all
have to go out of town and stay the night, type of thing, and that's just not fun.
Yeah, no, it's not. And we probably would have this year if we'd been able to travel on Christmas, but we were just still too sick for that.
Yeah.
Nothing like getting.
So I watched a video by. Man, what? We had a kid die from the flu here in Alabama.
Really?
Yeah. And so, but you know, like how how the stories are, like kid dies from the flu. I'm like, yeah, but like, what were the underlying issues?
Right.
Like, did he have like a heart condition, or like, was he immunocompromised? Like, there probably was something else there.
Did he get shot while he had the flu?
Did you ever see the movie? It was like a spoof on superhero movies. It had Janine Garofalo in it. Mystery Men, was that it?
No.
Have y'all ever seen that? Tell me if that's the name of the movie. I think it's called Mystery Men. But it had Ben Stiller in it. His superpower, he's just got really angry. That was it. He could just get like angrier than anybody else. But Janine Garofalo's character, she was trying to get revenge for her dad because her dad tragically died from falling down a elevator shaft onto some bullets. It's a funny movie, man. The Pee Wee Herman's in it. His name is the Spleen, and he just like lets out really rank, flatulence.
How old is this movie?
It's from like the early 2000s.
1999.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be 25 years ago. It was Mystery Men. See, I'm not crazy.
William H. Macy.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Never even heard of it, to be honest.
Well, that's a different era of movies. They don't make movies like that anymore.
Thankfully.
Like, for example, like Equilibrium. Have you ever seen that?
That one sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it.
So it's got Christian Bale in it, and it's like a dystopian future, kind of like a 1984 dystopian future, but they have gun katas. Basically,
Oh,
like kung
that's
fu with guns.
the one I've seen the video where he's like in a white suit, right? In like
Mhm.
a okay, yeah, I've seen that, but
The
that's
reason you never watched it or never saw it is because it came out in the week of 9/11. So
okay.
like nobody's on, but it became a cult classic. Um, and we watched it in the Marines. You know, we got like bootleg copies of it.
This is literally just every movie.
You
Every
know, that's in
movie.
his contract now. He's not allowed to die in
Not
any
allowed to
movie he's in
die
now.
anymore. What if he just they imply he dies off screen, he just never comes back into the movie? That would be funny.
Yeah. But so to get what I was going to say a second ago, I watched a review video by Brass Facts on the SMS Trinity, the infrared, the IR laser. Because I kind of want to get one because it's gotten like really good reviews and everything, and
Yeah.
it's super cheap. It's like $300, right?
It's like
And
half
my
price of
IR
the
laser, the IR laser I have on my 556 is I paid like $1,000 for it. I'm not buying like a mall or anything that, or even like a PEC 15 or PEC 14. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not spending that much money on it. I don't care about it that much. But it kind of turned me off, man. I didn't want to get it, even though he recommended it. Just some of the things he was talking about. The deviation on the laser wasn't a real big issue for him, and like to be honest with me, for me, it wouldn't be either because with the laser, you constantly have to recalibrate the zero on those things. So just the deviation on it eventually over a couple thousand rounds, that's not a big deal.
right.
But just like the actuation triggers and the shifting of the buttons and stuff, it's just I didn't want to have. I was like, man, I kind of wanted to get one because it's a good price and it was supposed to be very reliable, and it seems like it is, but just the actually putting it into use has kind of been not very effective, we'll say, I guess. But I don't know if have you delved into the IR laser realm yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, suppressors improve all accuracy because the rifling of the barrel in conjunction with the excess amount of gas coming from behind the projectile, because it's got an extra 6 to 9 inches, right?
It kind of increases the dwell time.
Yeah.
Not exactly because it's but somewhat.
Yeah, but most suppressors will increase accuracy. Yeah, the Halcyon Iris, I think that's my next go-to because I need one for my 300 blackout. I've got one on my 556. I need one for my 300 blackout, and the one I have is from US Night Vision. It's great. It's just a laser though. I don't have an illuminator. I don't, and that's when you get into like near peer and conflict. Like, do you use an illuminator or an IR floodlight when other people have night vision?
Right.
Because then they'll just see it like, oh look, all of a sudden the whole field's lit up. But the same thing is when you're using active aiming with a laser, you're also kind of signaling yourself as well. That's why you use passive aiming with like a EOTech or some type of red dot.
Right.
That way you're not kind of showing everybody where you're at. But where I'm at, I don't think I'd have to worry about that so much because I live in the sticks a little bit.
Right.
But if I lived closer in like the suburbs, I could see because all those people have a lot more money, so they might have some more night vision and stuff. But the Halcyon Iris apparently is like the best bang for your buck, but you're still going to pay a little bit more for it.
Yeah, up where I'm at, I'm not worried about basically a bunch of old hippies that bought cabins, up near by the lakes up here having, night vision necessarily.
What's a cabin go for up there?
Depends.
Like in the middle of
on the
woods,
water
no
or off the water?
utilities. Like within walking distance of water, like a mile.
Okay, so my mom, the cabin we had, my mom sold it a couple of years ago. It had 10 acres. It had power. We had drilled the well, so it had running water during the summer. We didn't bury the water lines, so during the winter, you could go out to the well and fill water there, but there was no running water to the cabin during the winter. There was no septic, so there was an outhouse.
Okay.
And then there was no indoor shower. It was an outdoor sauna and shower room, basically. So that my mom sold it. Oh, I want to say like 110,000.
Was this after COVID?
Yes.
Hmm.
No, like the cabin itself was a 1 bedroom. It had a bedroom, a kitchen, and a living room, basically, right? So super small.
Yeah.
But now if you're talking, let's say the same setup on a lake with any amount of shoreline, 500,000.
I bet.
You know, then say you have an actual indoor bathroom, running water. You know, you're talking quite a bit more. But
I mean, that's how much a decent, I say a nice house down there, me on the lake goes for 500,000.
Yeah,
I'm talking like a 3-2, nice house, on 100 foot of shoreline.
yeah,
It was about 500,000. I just because I look at like do I buy, like I kind of want like a mountain property. I mean, I'm not going to Minnesota, but, that's just not happening. But but I would go like up near the Appalachians of northeastern Alabama, or northwestern Georgia, or southeastern Tennessee. I'd look at buying something up there eventually, I think. But I want it to be like pretty primitive. Just because like I don't want it to be a thing where like we go up there on vacation, we watch TV, and I want to we go up there and we just enjoy the surrounding, right?
Yep.
Wood burning stove only, maybe even a wood burning stove to cook on, type of thing. So I just kind of like looking around to see how much those go for. The problem is you have a lot of yuppies buying this thing.
A lot of them.
And it's just and they don't do anything to them, and how much they want for them is wild. And they're like, especially the closer you get to Gatlinburg, it's crazy. But they rent theirs out a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
We call it fortified camping. Is what it's called.
Fortified camping.
Yeah, fortified camping. Yeah, but look, when you're camping up in the mountains and you're in a tent, you are just a breakfast burrito for a bear. That's all you are. I had a buddy who had a house up in the mountains, and he had to put a bear door on. You ever seen a bear door? It's just a solid, thick wood door, and it's got 10-inch nails coming out from it, so they can't bat on it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because his cabin kept getting ransacked by bears, so he had to put the bear door on.
We have a lot of black bears up here, but anytime a bear becomes an issue like that, the DNR will come and take care of it.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to get into the story?
Oh man, I don't know. It's not a fun story.
It's not a fun story at all. Let's.
I have not watched the video because I figured I'd have to for one of the shows, and
we're still not going to watch it here.
Okay, good.
It's you like y'all are more than welcome to go watch it yourself. I don't suggest it.
We're literally getting to it right now.
Right now.
40 minutes.
I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't suggest watching it because there's a lot of inferment. Like they're not showing everything, but there's a lot of inferment on what's happened. And the reason I wanted to bring this up, because this highlights a couple of common contradictions that people have when it comes to firearms. One being, well, shouldn't you just shoot them in the leg, right? Or another being, well, you don't need that many. You don't need a 30 round mag. Like that's too much, right? You don't deer hunt with 30 round mags. And the third one being, why would I need a gun at my house? Right? That's like
Or even those who have a gun at their house and maybe carry outside of their house all the time. Why would I need to carry in my house?
So it kind of makes you think, so do we have the story? Did you have the actual story? Not the video, but do you have like the article pulled up at all?
I could pull up an article. Otherwise, I mean,
so,
I do have.
Yeah, while you're pulling it up, I'll kind of go over some
we
things.
could
So
watch
kind of made me do
the beginning of the story, the beginning of the video before it gets graphic.
Yeah, we could do that.
Do you want to do that first, or bring up a story about it?
Let's bring up the story, and then we'll watch the beginning of the video. But while you're bringing up the story, some of the things that kind of made me reconsider what I do, because like as it is now, I already have a gun in every room, right? It's like just to have access, because I'm not carrying on me. Like some guys believe, hey, if you're going to carry outside, you should carry in your house all the time. Like I do too much stuff around the house.
I mean, I wrestle with my boys all the time. I can't have a gun.
That's just not going to happen. But I have a gun in every room.
Yes.
So if I need access to one, I can get. And only I mean, my wife knows where it's at as well. But I have one by the door, have one in the living room, have one in the kitchen, have one in the den. I have them everywhere. And I go out, I make sure they're maintained, I make sure the zeros are kept and all that. Because my biggest desire and biggest fear is a home invasion, right? I don't know if y'all saw the Dirty Civilian Christmas video this year where Santa got him a home invasion for Christmas. It's hilarious.
No, I might have to go watch that.
You should watch it. It's hilarious. It's the I think it's like the gift one, like the way they go over like the shopping guide for the year one. It was great. It was real good. But it's kind of made me reconsider, where the placement on those things are. Because where I live, I have a driveway that's about 100 yards before you get to my house. And it's uphill. I can see you from the road the entire time you're coming up. I have a notification system when you come in my driveway and all that, right? And my kids know they are not to answer the door. Only an adult is allowed to answer the door if someone makes it to the house. Because sometimes people just like hop the gate and come up to my house. Because to be honest with you, the gate is just like an illusion of safety. Yep. It's a suggestion, pretty much more than anything. If someone wanted to ram through my gate, it would not be hard, right? But it gives that half second of do I ram through this thing? That gives us a little bit more time, because by that time we've already been notified that somebody's in the driveway. But anyway, it's so my kids knowing that they don't answer the door, but it's made my wife a little bit more cautious as well, because we were talked about it earlier today. And I was telling her a summary of it. I didn't go over the details because she didn't need to know all that. She doesn't need to know the evil that's out there. Like, she knows I've seen enough of it. She doesn't need that burden as well.
Yeah.
And she's got to worry about the kids. And I don't really it's not that I don't let her, but I try not to encourage her to go out with the kids to go shopping or anything, because it's too much for her. Right, to keep eyes on everybody else out there, because
while chasing your kids around.
Yeah. So if she needs to go shopping, I've got the kids. If she wants to go do that, or I can go do the shopping for her, and she just sends me a list, which is always a horrible idea anyway, because she always leaves stuff off the list, and then she doesn't answer my text.
I was gonna say, then you call her, and she wouldn't. Oh, don't even get me started.
Y'all know exactly how it is. But it's just a matter of like me trying to help protect her from those things, not giving her the burden of having to know the extent of the evil out there. But we had to have this conversation because a lot of packages are coming in right now.
Yeah.
Whether we're giving it to the kids or we're giving it to other people, or I'm shopping for myself because no one else knows what to buy for me. So with the amount of delivery we've had, these things, she has to be aware of these things. So we went over it earlier today, and she immediately, it's like not even 30 seconds the driveway alarm went off. Somebody's in the driveway, and it's Amazon coming up the driveway because I left the gate open because I just got home. Right. And so that she's all, high alert for what's going on. But the first, so we'll go over the story here in a second, but there are some indicators immediately that someone should have known something was wrong, right? Something was not, something was some bad
3
stuff was
of
about
them.
to what?
Like there being 3 of them.
Yeah,
Like
UPS
during the
doesn't come up with
holiday,
people.
sometimes you see 2
Yeah.
UPS guys, right? You never see 3.
Yeah.
Not
So,
seeing a UPS truck.
and they're all black.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily going to say get to that, but okay, yep.
Like how many? Like you see one black UPS driver? Okay, yeah, I get it. See 2 of them together, 3 of them together. Come on, guys. So let's bring up the story real quick, and then we'll watch a little bit of the beginning of the video.
What was so I did not hear about the story until like last week or a week and a half ago.
It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago, and it happened in nearby where I grew up, like on the other side of the Twin Cities, but still like in the metro area I grew up in. So like when it says a Fridley man, like I know where Fridley is. I've been to Fridley many times, and like
your state just keeps taking L's, man.
Oh, I know.
All right, so let me read it for those of y'all that might listen. A Fridley man who is posed as a UPS driver and killed 3 people in front of 2 young children last year. So this happened in 2023.
January 2024.
Yeah. Was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole on Thursday. Last week, Alonzo Pierre Mingo was convicted on 8 accounts in connection with January 24 triple homicide in Coon Rapids. 2 counts of first-degree murder, premeditated. 3 counts of aiding and abetting, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. As previously reported, Anoka, is that pronounced?
Yep, Anoka.
Anoka County dispatcher received an open line 911 call and heard sounds of disturbance. Oh, that's vague. I make sounds of disturbance when I'm in the bathroom. They sent law enforcement to a home near Springbrook Drive in 94th Avenue Northwest, where they found 3 people dead. 42-year-old Shannon Patricia Youngworth, probably, her husband, and her son, who's 20 years old. In addition to the deceased, police also found 2 young kids who were present at the time of the homicides. A pole camera across the street from the home captured a blue Nissan Altima. Can we be a little bit more stereotypical? A Nissan Altima, huh? The Altima Americans. Parking in front of the home around the time of the murders. 3 people, 2 of them were dressed as UPS delivery drivers, went into the home with a cardboard box and left 7 minutes later. They killed the husband and the wife and the son in front of the 2 girls. Like the 2 girls saw it happen.
Yeah.
Over is a robbery, right? Like it's how easy would it be just not to answer the door? But you also have to worry about, you have to fortify your doors as well. Your door is held up by 1.5-inch screws into a 2x4 in the hinges and in the latch. You have to upgrade those.
Okay? It can be as easy and simple as putting 3-inch screws in.
Exactly. That's all you have to do. Take those 1.5 inches out, put in 3-inch screws, and then it's a lot harder to kick in your door.
There's YouTube videos where, like, with 1.5-inch screws, it takes like 2 kicks.
Mm-hmm.
With 3-inch screws in like professional, like SWAT, the whatever the SWAT uses to break down doors, it takes like 5 minutes for them to break down the door with 3-inch screws.
We used to test busting down doors with how light of a Marine could we do to throw into it to bust through it. Like we put a helmet on them, they got their plate carrier on. We'd have a couple guys just pick them up and throw them into the door, and that's all it took, just throwing them into the door, and they bust right. 130-pound Marine busting through that door, every time, being thrown like a dwarf. That's all it took.
Wow,
it doesn't take a lot. That's the first thing. Every house I've bought in the last 10 years, the first thing I do is change out all the screws and all the doors.
I just love how every one of these episodes, I find a new way the Marines measure something by. Every single one.
Well, there was a common rule in the Marine Corps that if you put a bored Marine in a closed room with no doors, no windows, in a concrete ball, and came back in an hour, that concrete ball would either be broken or pregnant. All right, so let's play the beginning of the video real quick so y'all can kind of see how this went.
So this is the channel I guess most people are watching it on. Give me a second here.
I talk too much to smoke a pipe.
Okay, let me switch my sound over real quick. Okay.
You can go to forthepeople.com/MidwestCrime.
This
I didn't know we had a sponsor.
obtained by Midwest Crime and has
What did you say?
I didn't know we had a sponsor.
No, not yet.
never been seen by the public before.
¿Están tocando?
One of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup.
Ain't no big dog, is it? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet. Hey, check it out. Come on. Don't move. Don't move. Move your hand. Move your hand. Open the door. Move that. Open the door.
The home security camera captures the third suspect come up the driveway after he's waved in by the other men.
Oh.
Yeah. So the immediate where to start the immediate thing that you should notice is there's two UPS drivers. At that time of year, there's never two UPS drivers. They don't have the time. They don't have the manpower to do that. They're already struggling. They're already working 15-hour days. And then that they didn't leave the package, right? And not only that, but they didn't try and give it to you in the driveway and for you to bring it back yourself.
Yeah.
Was another issue. Like these all should have been indicators.
The second guy standing out of sight of the door,
Uh-huh.
over there, that's sketchy. Obviously, the fact that his face is covered up.
Mm-hmm. It is not hard to get a UPS uniform. In fact,
No, you can
last
probably
week
buy them online right now.
Yeah, I was in an antique store and they had a UPS jacket. And I was like, man, how easy it would be just to grab one of these and act like I'm a UPS guy. And you do the thing by FedEx, police, water, some utility company, an orange vest. You just have an orange vest, say from the power company, and people will just open their door to you. Right. And you need to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Because the time of living in a high trust society is gone. We don't have that anymore anywhere. Because it's creeping in even into the areas.
This is Amazon.
Good Lord.
Not exactly what the real uniforms look like, but
most people wouldn't know.
yeah.
You know, for not even $100, they could have a uniform, so they could be able to pose as a delivery driver. And their delivery drivers are everywhere. You know, from October on, like there's constantly delivers going on, and so people just let down their guard.
Yep.
And now because of that, 3 people lost their lives, and 2 young girls don't have parents anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Another another indication was
where's the truck?
yeah. Yeah, where's the truck? Yeah. When they're walking up, they're asking him, so I don't know if you guys heard, they ask him, so you don't have no big dog? Right? Because he's got that small puppy. They're like, you don't have a big dog? And he says, not yet. And they're like, okay, no big dog then. Like they're gauging to see if there's a bigger dog in the house they have to worry about.
The turbo nomaries as they've been dubbed here, are a result of a high trust society. When you could just be a normie and not have to worry about these things as much. In most areas, like there are some areas like like New York City of the 80s, where you had to be very streetwise to survive. But most areas you didn't have to worry about all that because you lived in a very homogenous and very trustworthy society. We're way past that now. And so I wanted to bring this up so y'all can see how this goes down, and so y'all are aware of it. And you've got your your awareness up. You're in that, at least that when we talked about the OODA loop before, right? Yellow into orange, that area, right? Just aware, and you're alert to looking for things. Like you don't have to be switched on all the time where you're suspecting everybody, but at least keep your eyes open and look around. Don't walk around with your phone in your hand.
Yep.
Right? Don't answer your door for every single person.
Yep.
My wife does not answer the door when I'm not home.
Yeah, that's one great thing about these doorbell cameras. Like my wife or my kids, they can respond to someone knocking through the camera. And like all these different, the post office, UPS, FedEx, they all have different services you can sign up for where you get a summary of your deliveries for the day. You'll get notification if something needs a signature.
Yep.
Right. So if UPS knocks, my wife will know already if they're knocking just to let her know the packages are there, or if they're knocking because the signature is needed.
Yep.
Right. So if a signature is not needed, you don't need to answer that door. Watch them on the camera, drop it off, tell them on the camera, thanks, if you want. And then once they leave, then open the door.
Exactly. And it's kind of scary with the U.S. Postal Service one, because they'll tell you what's in a letter and it's not opened. Like they have X-ray technology that will read a letter, and they know exactly what's in these letters that's coming to your house now. And that's part of the Patriot Act is where that comes from. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason, especially if you live in an urban area, to not keep your guard up, because you're surrounded by a lot of people. One, that they don't know you, and you don't, because most people don't know their neighbors.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by a lot of people who think of you as the other. That's to give you a story. My parish on the west side of Birmingham is the murder capital of the world, not the world, but of the United States. It's like in the top 3 of the murder capital, but it's all black on black crime.
Yeah.
And we've had some parishioners who have thought it would be a good idea to see if they could get a house down there because they want to be close to the parish, right? And it's they're cheap. You're looking at like $70,000 for a house because it's in a bad area. And we have, me and a friend of mine who goes to our parish, who's in federal law enforcement, have had to have a sit down talk with these guys and have a come to Jesus moment. Like, brother, it doesn't matter that you think you can protect yourself. It doesn't matter that you stay at home all day, because you work from home. What the issue is you have a different skin tone than 99.9% of the people that live around you. And when things get bad, you're
the
the
first
easy
target.
target.
Yep.
Exactly. You are the easiest target. That's all they care about. But they don't want to hear it. You're like, well, sometimes we gotta live in dangerous places to be near the faith. I'm like, brother, you ain't gotta live near the parish to go to mass there. Nobody lives near the parish. We already the community already meets mostly, 10 miles down the road anyway. But some people just make bad decisions, man. Thankfully,
Yeah.
nobody's moved down there yet. Thankfully, but they're getting close. There's some people who are getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it's weird because Coon Rapids, where this happened, like,
What a name of a town, by the way.
never even hits me because I'm just
You're used to
I
it.
grew up
I
with
get
it.
Yeah.
It's an outer ring. At least when I was growing up, it was a really outer ring suburb. For Lake Coon Rapids, like those are, we're 10, 15 miles away from Minneapolis.
Mm.
But of course, now with urban sprawl, like they're not really outer ring suburbs. And even if they were, like they're not homogenous anymore, that's for sure. They were when I was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you bring in 100,000 Somalis who take over an entire area as well.
And that's not even the part where they're at, but
Yeah. But then that pushes those people out that were in that neighborhood where the Somalis are to other areas.
Yep, 100%.
Which is the same thing that happened, like around my parish. It used to be heavily German and Italian, and then in the '80s, when all the businesses and industry started moving out of Birmingham because they started going outside the country or to Mexico, a lot of those jobs were lost. So people had to move to where the jobs were at. And a lot of low income people moved into those houses because that's all they could afford. And they're still decently well kept at the time. You were in a constant state of migration. Because an area that was nice 15 years ago is now not nice. Because of the economic conditions that have happened since then, and it's pushed certain demographics into that area. And it's happening everywhere. And now we've been importing our own demise for the last 25 years. Basically since 9/11, they've been importing nothing but third world populations into the United States in order to destabilize and change the voting dynamics. So I just wanted to bring that up and show that to you guys so you can be aware of some of the horrific things that happen out there and you can protect yourself and your families from it better. In a situation like that, having a firearm by the front door is probably a good idea, right? Just being prepared for something like that. And you can have it in a stop box mounted to the wall if you want, or on a dresser or nightstand type furniture right by the front door. Something you have access to. There's a lot of times I don't answer the door without at least having something in my hand because I don't know who these people are. If you made the trek to come up my driveway and get over my gate, like I'm coming at you with some suspicion. But a lot of y'all that live in urban areas, you're going to have a whole lot more foot traffic around you than I do. So you've got to be prepared for those things. As far as what then would be, your rules of engagement, brandishing is against the law. So don't show the gun until you're ready to use it.
That's one thing a lot of people who don't carry and aren't used to the laws surrounding that don't realize, like, if you're justified in showing that weapon, you are justified in using it to end someone's life, legally speaking. And so if you're going to pull it, shoot it.
And shoot to kill, right? Or, because the last thing you need is some robber that you maimed suing you for maiming him, right? You shoot to remove the threat.
If you're going to shoot, if you're going to get sued, it might as well be for wrongful death.
Yeah. So I think that one hit hard for a lot of people when they saw it and saw what it left behind. And a lot of people aren't prepared for that. But that's not the first time I've heard that. That's not the first time I've heard of an invasion a home invasion of somebody who dressed up as a delivery person. Yeah, we don't abide by the Joe Biden rules of engagement around here. There is no such thing as a warning shot. The only warning shot is when I kill him and his friends run away. That is a warning shot.
So just because you might have been justified, like legally according to the criminal code, does not mean someone cannot come after you in civil court.
Yep. And not only that, but if you live in a very high density blue area, you likely have a DA who was put in with contribution funds from Soros, who are looking the other way against minorities committing crime, and then prosecuting people for self-defense and rightful self-defense. Like I think I've told the story before, but I took a concealed carry course with a local SWAT officer here in one of the local municipalities around Birmingham. And he works in a highly Democrat area. And he even says, like, if you ever have to use your gun in Jefferson County, which is where Birmingham is, he's like, you better have a good lawyer. He goes, yeah, he's like, I don't even care if you're in the right. That DA is coming after you.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So you just have to be aware of that and be ready for that. And that's why you need carry insurance.
Yeah. We might be getting a new sponsor on the main channel.
Oh, yeah?
Called Knick-Knack.
Man, I wanted to check them out. How are their pouches?
They're not pouches. They're lozenges.
They're lozenges.
Yeah. Like little mints, basically. Little Tic Tacs.
Are you still
already. What was that?
Are you still putting them in your lip?
Yeah. They say put them where you put a pouch.
Are they abrasive or are they hurting your gums?
No, they feel just like a mint.
Oh.
But so it's a small Catholic family, small Catholic owned, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to talk to them probably next week about a potential sponsorship.
Are we talking West Hollywood, Florida, or West Hollywood, California?
Because I could see it in Florida.
that could happen in Florida, but
he kind of looked like a Florida man.
I'm never going to California. My nephew lives in California. I make fun of him and his dad all the time for it. You will never catch me dead. California is wasted on the Californians. Like, they don't deserve the weather and the nature out there at all. They're ruining everything out there.
I mean, honestly, apart from LA, like the city of LA, and apart from the politics, the state itself is like a paradise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's why. Like, I went up to every time I go back to Louisville, I go back home because I grew up in Louisville till I was like 24, and I joined the Marines like a year after that. But every time I go back, I'm always having nostalgia. Like, I go back and I'm like, oh man, I went around showing all the kids, where I grew up, my old haunts, my parish I went to, and all that. And I'm like, every time I go there, I'm like, man, I would love to move back. Like, I would love to move, because my family's close, and it's very Catholic there. Well, Catholic in name. It's very Democrat Catholic. But then my wife had to go into a drugstore to get some hairspray. And she had a couple of, and I'm like circling the block because we're downtown and there's no parking, and I just have to keep circling the block with the kids. And she comes back and she tells me like 3 scary stories in 5 minutes she was in there. There's like pride flags everywhere and Black Lives Matter shoestrings and being sold and all this. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I think I'm gonna stay in Alabama. Like, I don't think I want to mess with all that.
Yeah, can't blame you there.
We love you. I don't personally attack you at all. It's all in love. is what it is. It's all in love. Like, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't make fun of you. I don't know why y'all watch this show. To
be fair, it's not like many do.
I know we have literally dozens of fans.
There's 12. No, we don't. We have literally 1 dozen watching right now. We have 12
1
people
dozen
on YouTube. On YouTube, we've had 115 on my Twitter. Apparently, they're all watching Anthony talk with that stupid ortho cleave to antiquity guy right now.
Cleveland antiquity guy.
Yeah.
Nothing has interested me less lately than church drama.
I'm right there with you, man.
Like, I just don't care anymore.
No.
I go to mass. I'm raising my kids in the faith. And it's all I really care about.
Yeah.
Like, all this drama about stuff. Like, my wife, like, I asked my wife the other day, I was like, I asked my wife the other day, I was like, hey, did I see something correctly? Did what's his name? Blake Shelton become Catholic? And she looked it up. Like, yeah, apparently in 2018 when he married Gwen Stefani. I was like, oh, okay. That was the end of it. That was the extent of our talk about that. Like, that was it. You know, well, that's nice for him. You know, that's it. Like, I don't have any desire. Like, well, I wonder if he goes to a Latin mass. And I don't care. You know, like, that's between him and God. It's just the church drama has gotten so boring. Like, I watched y'all's show with Mark Lambert and Catherine. Yeah. What's her name? Bassett or something? I don't know. Bennett. Sorry, Catherine. I did your name wrong. And I like them. And I'm sad for them because of Gavin Ashenden. But
isn't that the truth?
But I think Catherine's a little bit more aware of things than Mark is down the path of some stuff. And Mark is still very much a Vatican II thing, right? And I was listening to it, it's like, oh, Mark.
Like his reply to when I was talking about ecumenism and stuff. Yeah.
He was like, well, actually, what Lumen Gentium said was, like, brother, they could say whatever they want in Lumen Gentium, but that's not what they put into practice. What they put into practice is what they want Lumen Gentium to say. And it's just it's just strange to me that so many people, that's basic common sense. If 2,800 bishops voted on all the documents at Vatican II and then went home and implemented something completely different than what was in the documents, one, they either didn't read the documents that they signed, which is a dereliction of their duty as a bishop, or two, they didn't care what was in the documents at Vatican II because they got the word to go back and do what they wanted when they got back home. Or three, the documents in Vatican II were explicitly worded in such a way that when they went back, the implementation is the interpretation.
Yeah. I mean, look at Lefebvre.
Number 3.
Lefebvre signed the documents. He was fine with the documents. And then when he saw what everyone actually wanted to do with the documents, he was like, oh, whoa, no. You know, like.
Well, then, like Fulton Sheen, he was a huge proponent of Vatican II, all about ecumenism and all about the new liturgy and everything. But supposedly he had a little, turnaround a couple of years before he died.
Yeah.
He's like, the things have gone way too far. Who knows? I don't know. But he was not the same after Vatican II as he was before at all, which is why you don't see a lot of recordings of him after Vatican II. Because people don't want to, and he had his own diocese at the time up in Rochester and all that, but it took the world by storm.
I wanted to bring this up with them.
For good reason. You will get arrested for having the wrong opinion and voicing it.
That's true. Like they do have to be careful having Maudsley on. They really do, actually.
But what that's going to do is that's going to push them to violence a whole lot faster than us. Because you're going to have a lot of young men there in England who are white, who have been told they're horrible for being white their entire life, and that London is not their city anymore. It's now Londonistan, right? And they're going to be angry, and they're going to find no recourse in the institutions that they're supposed to be able to turn to. So they're going to turn to violence a whole lot faster, because what we have for us is the freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, and that kind of slows us down a little bit on that trajectory, because we have some recourse into some other things for a long time before we have to get. That's why nothing's been done here either, because one, we still have bread and circuses going, right? If you with all the stuff that was going on in Minnesota the weekend, it still wasn't trending. Maybe that was on purpose. Maybe it was removed from the trending list. But what was trending was football.
Football, yeah.
Right. That is bread and circus. And I love football. I love college football. I don't like professional football. But I don't. As long as the average American can still take his one vacation a year, doesn't have to worry about where his food's coming from, and can watch football on Sundays, he will never revolt. When those things start to be taken away, then people will start to revolt, only until they're restored. They will never do it to correct the system.
And we got to remember, like, this was true in the American Revolution, right? 97% of Americans did not fight, did not lift a finger during the revolution.
Nope.
And the 3% who did, unfortunately, kind of did it for elites who stood to profit from it in the end. But anyways, that's a different point. But
have you seen it's like an 18-hour docuseries of Europe of the Last Battle?
I mean, I've heard of Europe of the Last Battle. It's 18 hours.
It's 18 hours. It's like 18 one-hour episodes, pretty much. Well, apparently they did a 1.5 hour like condensation of it. Condensation? Did I just make up a word?
Condensation.
Condensing of it. What I think we'd have to do it on X only, though. We couldn't do it on YouTube. But we should do a review of it. We should watch it and maybe show some clips that you and I saw and maybe do a review of it.
It's interesting because it's one of those things that I'm still kind of conditioned to want to stay away from. You know what I mean? Like, even though some questions have been raised in my mind, obviously, and have started to go down the path, it's like, I don't know. I hear it. I'm like, I don't know, guys.
This might be what turns me.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, because you're quite a bit more educated on the history of the troubles of World War II than I am, we'll say, right? Specifically the baking mechanisms of World War II. Baking, yeah, cookies. There's not enough ovens to cook all them cookies, man. But because I'm in the same boat. I'm scared to go down that route, right? Because it's like once you see the monster, you can't unsee the monster.
That and like, so, I don't know. Part of me just thinks like we're still just so close to it chronologically, where
maybe
we still find out new things and have to rewrite narratives about events that happened 3,000 years ago. Yeah. I think it's kind of silly for anyone to think they have all the answers about a really controversial event that happened 80 years ago. And that, so I'm skeptical of anyone that says they have, the answer, no matter what side that answer's on.
Yeah.
At this point, but I wouldn't watch 18 hours of it, but maybe I'd watch an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'd watch an hour and a half. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, the 18 hours, like, man, like, I'm I'm pretty J-pilled, but I'm not 18 hours J-pilled.
Yeah.
Like that's
Like
not
it's
that's just not gonna happen. But I'll watch an hour and a half. I'll watch that with the wife. We'll sit down, I'll rub her head,
get some
play with her
popcorn,
hair.
nice
Like, we'll-
wine.
yeah,
Make it
put my feet
romantic.
up, maybe bring in the kids, let them watch it. Daddy, what's an oven? But
What's Einsatzgruppen mean? Don't worry about that, son.
but I saw they put it out today, so I'll send you the link. It's on Odyssey. Rumble took it down. Like Rumble won't even.
Rumble took it down.
Rumble took it down. So that's like, yeah.
I mean, there's a
So
lot
I'll
of
send you the
Jews on
link for it.
Rumble.
It's on Odyssey, and I'll put the link in the group, the Telegram chat as well. For those of y'all that aren't in the Telegram, get in the Telegram. We have some fun over there. Probably a little bit too much fun. Probably you might want to, if you are scrupulous, you might not want to go to the Telegram. But we put a lot of deals over there that we find. For instance, I just saw a deal for a Hutzworks 556K can that was like $900. I haven't seen that.
Really? That's $300 or $400 off.
Yeah, it's like $500 off if you buy in most places 5 months ago, right? But now you can reliably find it for about $1,250, $1,300. But yeah, it's about $900. And so, if you bought it now, it wouldn't get there till after the 1st, and then you don't have to pay the tax stamp either.
Most places you have to pay the tax stamp when you order it.
No, you don't pay it till you register it. Now, most places, if they have it in stock, you're doing it all at the same time.
Right.
But if you buy it and have it shipped to your FFL, the tax stamp isn't applied for until you get there and you apply for it.
Interesting.
So a lot of places are allowing you they're just holding on to it till after the 1st, so you don't have to pay the fee. And there's going to be a huge backlog, so there's going to be some time. It's not going to be like a 3-day turnaround like my last one was.
Yeah.
Right? You're probably going to wait, but they are using AI to get through them faster, which is good and bad.
Not sure how I feel about that one.
Well, they've been doing that for like a year. That's why they've been getting through them so quick. So we're already in it. But there's a lot of good deals in the Telegram chat. A lot of good topics come up. It's very active, I would say. So make sure y'all get over to Telegram, and I'll have Rob post the link so y'all can get into it.
Let me pull that up now.
We also have the competition finishing up for this month. We've had a few entries. We've had less entries because it's cold and guys don't like to get out in the cold because they're sissies. But we've had a few entries. The challenge this month is a bill drill after some push-ups. It's timed. So the prize is all two of them. So it basically is a 2-man competition right now. But right now the prize is I'll buy you your Avoiding Babylon merchandise of choice that you want. I still have to send you. Who's it? Joe won last month.
Yeah.
I still have to send you Joe's. He sent it to me. I just got to get it to you.
Okay.
Sorry, Joe. This has been a crazy month, man. But
that's true.
We do that's the competition, and it's really just to make y'all better and to get y'all out there in training. Next month we're gonna do something not firearms related. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something a little bit more bushcraft related. So that'll be fun. So for those of y'all that can't get to a range, it'll be good. I had someone ask earlier, why don't we get locals? Because there's not enough people that like us.
I mean, we haven't even gotten 1,000 people.
We need 1,000 subscribers first before we can do anything like that. I thought about doing a patch, like a Velcro patch. Would be my first thing. There's a few guys on Instagram who do really good patches, so I might inquire about that. At no point is this thing ever going to make money for me. Like, I have no desire for this thing to make me any money. This is a hobby. I do this for fun. And so I will never do this to make money whatsoever. So don't expect that. Yeah, this is way more niche than Avoiding Babylon. Like we're picking up all the guys from Avoiding Babylon who just like guns. That's pretty much what it came down to.
So far, there's 350.
They call over here and hang out. But what I'm also going to do in January is we're going to do a hangout stream where y'all can pop in and we can talk about some stuff.
That'll be fun.
We got
to get Christopher back on.
Yeah, we'll have I will never open an LLC, and it's more because I don't want it to interfere with my real life job. More than anything, I just it'd be too much of a headache. It
gets to be a lot.
Yeah, I have no desire. This is just for fun for me. And this is just a good way for me to get and talk to like-minded people, get to talk to Rob about stuff, and not feel like I'm crazy for thinking the things that I think. Is really what this is. Y'all are my therapy, pretty much is what this comes down to. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you did.
Send me a bill.
You're Anthony from Alabama. That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. I don't. Like, I'm scared to go down that route because I know where it's going to go. I know exactly where it's going to go because I already see all the mile markers going down. I just haven't gone down the road yet.
Yeah, like we have the map, right? We have the directions. Pilgrimages to Waco. Oh my gosh. First off,
go to
Ruby Ridge would probably be a better first one.
We'll go to the Mount Hero Refuge up in, what was that, Washington State? But what we are going to do, it's going to be fun. Late spring at my property down here in Alabama. And I'll put out some more details about it probably after the new year, probably into January. We are going to do a camp out and shoot at my place for a couple of days. I've got some acres down here. We've got some pasture, a pond, and a bunch of woods. We'll do a camp out and we'll do some shooting. I'll teach y'all some stuff. If anybody else, is more familiar with firearms than I am, maybe y'all can teach me some stuff. You can bring your whatever you want to shoot because we live in the land of the free down here in Alabama. And then maybe we can find a priest to come down and give us a talk and maybe hear some confessions and maybe do a mass or two.
I know a priest that has both a Desert Eagle and a H&K Mark 23 that he could bring.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So that'll be probably late April when we do that because I think Easter this year is the end of March. So I'll try and time it to where it's not around
holidays,
any type of major feast day or anything.
Yeah,
I don't want y'all to be here. You have to do that.
We should try to gather as many different examples of carry guns, home defense. Basically have a plethora, a cornucopia of firearms that people who maybe don't have any are looking to buy their first could try.
Yeah. And it'll be limited. Like it'd probably be limited to about, maybe 25, 30 dudes. And there's going to be a buy-in. Like it's going to be like $25 to do it because I'm going to feed y'all while I'm down here. And this doesn't pay me any money. So I'm going to need some money from y'all to feed you. But it'll be good. It'll be fun. Look, I'll start putting some details about that in January. Yeah, man, I can shoot better than all of y'all. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, y'all come on down.
Fed.
No, never. That's not gonna happen. Let's see who.
I don't have a lot of
family. That's because I don't have a lot of family that I really keep in contact with anymore.
Yeah, that's what. Anthony has 8 brothers and sisters, and he talks to them all. That's the issue.
Yeah,
right. The less you talk to your family and see your family, the less drama you have. Now, is that a good way to live?
That's exactly what it is. I don't really talk to my family very much, And it's mostly because I don't live near them. One, but two, like we're in a different place than they are when it comes to our values. Like a lot of my family they cuss too much to be around my kids, or they drink too much, or the ones I don't know well enough, I'd have to be around them a little bit more to make sure I could trust them around my kids, because my kids are why I do everything I do. Between my wife and my kids, if I don't get them to heaven, I'm not doing anything right. So the reason I'm into guns is to protect my wife and my kids. The reason I know how to do everything I do with firearms and bushcraft and small unit tactics is because I want to protect my wife and my kids. I want to make sure that they're taken care of because that's my duty. And I can't be around people that I don't fully know to make sure that they aren't imparting some of their horrible values into my kids. You know what? Hick libs is not a thing in the South. It's like a West Virginia, like Asheville thing.
There's a lot of I wouldn't call them hick libs, but more like your blue dog Democrat types up where I am, right? Because like all the old miners up here were all historically Democrats because the unions, like 100 years ago, unions really did actually help out miners, not die on the job, right? So they became indebted to the unions, and then unions became indebted to the Democrat Party. So now you have all these people who are just like, well, like how so many people are culturally Catholic, they're culturally Democrat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've got an uncle like that who's super Democrat, and he gets made fun of by the rest of the family because of it. But, and in fact, like he's one of those ones where like, I just don't want my kids around you.
Yeah.
Like I just don't want them to see that, like to learn that mindset at all, because it's nihilistic and it's just not worthwhile. But yeah, we don't really have hick libs down here, because like if you're down here and you're a hick, it's because you are a hick. You don't have the benefit of being able to really put on that culture as a skin suit.
Yeah, there were a lot of Croats up here, who were Catholic, Croats, Slovenians, things like that. Like with the first,
the X comments are coming through.
Yeah, it is nice to see that. Our first, the first priest for our local parish ever, was a Slovenian, and he's up for sainthood.
Oh, wow.
Well, he's on the path to it. But so a lot of Croats and Slovenes up here, but it's a mix of, like I said, of them feeling indebted to the Democrat Party because of the mining unions, and then half the population up here is transplants from, they're hippies from the cities who came up here for the nature, right? So half, and because the mining, so much of the mining is dead now, the only businesses that remained and that are now thriving are, the businesses that are doing stuff with the nature, the canoeing businesses, the camping businesses, things like that. So it's really kind of rewritten the demographics in the area, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get that. Because down here we have, you just have a lot of just working class folks down here. I work in a much different demographic of people, people who are a little bit more financially put together. But a lot of the people around my house, like my neighbors and stuff, they're multi-generational farmers, or, cattlemen or something. In fact, the guy who does all my plumbing work around my property, because it needs a lot, because the previous owner apparently thought he could do every trade that there was, and there's a lot of jerry rigging going around here. But
hey, it's racist.
Hey, I can't be racist against my own people. But he's like a fourth generation plumber and also a fourth generation cattleman. He raises like 40 head of cattle just because that's what they've always done. Right. it's a lot of that. But we have some transplants that have come from Birmingham who, they want a better quality of life, but then they get here and they're trying to vote the way they did in Birmingham, and they get immediately shut out for it. We had a guy running for city council here, who was, very urbanly indoctrinated, we'll say, who was trying to incorporate that stuff, and he got like 1% of the vote.
Really?
He got like 17 votes out of like 1,000. It was he just got completely shut out because people don't deal with that here. Like if you aren't willing to work, they don't have any respect for you in this little town I'm in.
Yeah.
And they just don't care. That you come from an area that's more progressive or whatever, where you have better ideas. Like they've seen what that's done to other parts of the country, and they want nothing to do with that here. Because Birmingham's, especially the west side of Birmingham is real bad. It's heavily black. It's heavily black on black crime that happens over there. But that's because majority of the people over in the west side of Birmingham are on welfare. And so they don't have to worry about their needs day to day. And so they can do whatever they want. And they do a lot of crime because of it. All right. So what questions y'all got about anything? I don't know if we even have any questions. Let's do some questions real quick. Because I still need to catch up on some sleep. So I think I'll cut this in a few minutes. And I know, let's see, we had one earlier, but I think we got to it. Let's see. We have anybody that's still watching? We have like one person watching or something.
There is on YouTube. There are 17.
Yeah,
a dozen and a half almost.
We literally have dozens. There are dozens of us. Man, we went to see David in the theater. Have you seen it? Angel Studios, David. Go see it. It's good.
Really?
It's good. It's worth seeing.
I don't like Angel Studios though.
Yeah, I get it. But it's a good movie for the kids.
Okay.
I thought it was just going to be about like David and Goliath. It is not. It goes quite a bit further into the story. It goes into his complicated relationship with Saul. It was a good movie. It's worth seeing. I will say that. But the kids liked it, and it had some songs in it, so it was like a Disney singing movie too. But the kids liked it, so I'm not going to begrudge them. I mean, wait to watch it at home if you want to. I don't care, but watch it. It's worth watching. It's wholesome enough to watch.
Anthony always trying to get me to watch movies.
I only watch movies for the kids now.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that. What was that movie y'all he was talking about the other day? The Knives Out.
The third Knives Out movie.
Yeah, and you watched that, did you?
I did.
Was it worth watching?
It was pretty good actually.
That was a long pause. I
wouldn't watch it again, and I wouldn't go to a theater to watch it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have watched it if I wasn't home.
Pay to watch it.
No, I mean that's the thing. It's on Netflix. It's only on Netflix. I know you're not going to get Netflix.
Yeah, so because on Instagram, it's nothing but like Stranger Things reels. I feel like I've seen like the whole season.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching that.
Coming up.
We're watching a lot of
I like the first season.
We're watching a lot of Meat Eater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. With what's his name? Stephen Amell or whatever.
They're remaking the X-Files.
It's gonna be trash. I know it.
Somebody told me that HBO got the rights to Lord of the Rings.
Really?
I was like, that might be good.
Except Netflix is buying HBO. It's part of the Paramount deal, right?
Good. Not good.
No, not good.
I recant my statement. Not good. Have you ever watched Freeman? Have you ever watched Grimm?
Okay, so my wife and I are rewatching it, and we're in the final season.
I love that show. I've watched the whole thing. It's super campy. It's like not really trying to take itself serious. Like it's just a fun show to watch. I can't watch it with my kids because it's a little scary for them. But
my kids don't mind it. But
like it's the scare factor of a lot of them. Like I don't need nightmares. my kids are very spiritually sensitive, we'll say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good for them, but Grimm is a good show, man.
I do like Grimm. What place would I recommend up north that is good for access to the TLM? When you say up north, like, do you mean specifically my neck of the woods, like northern Minnesota? Or do you mean just north in general? If you're talking northern Minnesota, man, there's Duluth is the only TLM north of the Twin Cities and St. Cloud, right? So be within an hour of Duluth, I would say, but even I don't know. It's rough up here. I mean, I love living up here. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't move back to the Twin Cities ever, but for like faithful traditional Catholics, it's rough up here.
Tiny soda. It's not that great in Alabama either. We have 3 Latin masses in the Birmingham diocese, 1 in Birmingham, 1 in Huntsville, and 1 in Coleman. The one in Coleman is a traditional monastery. They're not allowed to be a parish, though. You can't register there. You can't get any of your sacraments there. Well, as far as like, First Communion and all that, you can go to confession all day, every day, and go to mass and all that. But in Mobile, which is very Catholic, they have 1 Latin mass, and it's the first and third Saturday because Archbishop Rhodey, who was our Archbishop before the new guy from Milwaukee came in a couple of months ago, he got rid of all of them when Traditionis Custodes come out. So it's not that great here either. Now, the good thing is where I live, I'm about an hour and some change away from the St. Francis de Sales in Mableton, Georgia, which is the FSSP in Georgia. And then I'm probably an hour and 40 minutes from the SSPX in Roswell, Georgia. So if something ever happened to my parish, I could go to either of those two.
Yeah.
But
The roughest thing about the being a trad up in northern Minnesota is that your one TLM option is diocesan, survives on a dispensation from Rome, so that could be taken away at any time. And they have 1 mass at 1 p.m. on Sundays, and you can't get traditional baptisms, you can't get traditional first communions, confirmations, right? Like, so for anything besides just mass, we have to drive the 4 hours to the Twin Cities. So that's the hardest thing for us, really.
For those of y'all who have access to the Latin Mass, especially the traditional orders, where you don't have to worry about losing them, you need to be appreciative of it. Because we're in fear, like every year, of losing our diocesan Latin Mass. We have been since Traditionis Custodes come out. So just be appreciative of what you have. Now, if I were to ever be able to appropriate the 200 acres that's around me, Lord, if you ever wanted to give me that acreage, I would give half of it to a traditional order to open up a parish here. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
To be fair, what do they need 100 acres for?
Look, so they can use it for whatever. I don't care. If they want to do something like Detroit's doing with the Shrine of St. Joseph, where they're basically building a community around them.
Yeah.
So they bought up a bunch of those buildings and houses around them and are selling them to traditional Catholics. And they're selling a lot of the property to businesses to open up businesses for the traditional Catholics there. Right? They could do the same thing.
True.
They could, it could be a rural parish. It could be like Catholic Land Movement Shrine, where they, it's like a education farm or something. I don't care. Just put a traditional order here in Alabama that's close to me. That's all I care about.
Fair.
It'd be SSPX. I don't care.
Yeah, the one parish we have is not a personal parish. It's diocesan. They got a dispensation from TC. So
yeah, like the Latin Mass up in Huntsville is a personal parish as well, and because they don't do any English masses at all. It's just Latin masses, and they are busting at the seams. And they haven't been allowed to. They need to build a new parish, and they won't let them. for whatever reason, but they're standing room only 5 masses on Sunday.
Wow.
It's crazy, but it's also in a nice part of town. Whereas my parish is in the murder capital of the United States. And so we don't get as many people coming out there as we could because we're in such a horrible part of town. Go to an SSPX Mission Chapel, no resident pastor flies down every week, and even then think it's a bad idea to take that for. Yeah. So St. Anthony Marie Claret down in Destin is an SSPX parish that is in an office building. The mass is done on like a conference level on the second floor or whatever. We've been there once, maybe twice. And people there, when we go there, they're very nice to us. Every time we go there, I've never had but anything but good experiences there. And their pastor flies down from Maryland.
Wow.
At least he did when a couple of times I've been. It was funny because my daughter, one of my daughters and my son, got First Communion early because when Traditionis Custodes came out, we were afraid that they weren't going to be able to get the traditional rite. So my daughter received First Communion at 5. And we went to mass there the summer after she got First Communion. So she was still 5. And she had her veil on, and we went up to the altar rail and we're receiving communion. And the priest is coming over. And he just told us he flew down from Maryland over, and he's going to he gave me communion. He goes to her, and he's like, "Does she receive communion?" I was like, "Yes, Father." And he goes, "Oh, that's fantastic," and gave her she's a tiny 5. She looked like a 4-year-old, right? And he was just excited for her. Whereas like I go to other parishes and they're shocked and they're like insulted that she was receiving communion at 5. Like this isn't a prize to be held back until someone earns it, right? This is freely given, and we should be. I'm of the idea that we should be giving confirmation and First Communion and baptism all at the same time, like the East does.
I hate it only because I hate all things Eastern.
I mean, I don't hate all things Eastern, but I'm not a Bislarper, I'll tell you that. I have no desire to go to a Byzantine parish whatsoever, but I'll recognize a good idea when I see it.
I don't hate all things Eastern. I just think they're second-class citizens.
Look, have you ever heard of
I'm a Latin supremacist for sure.
Have you ever heard of a fluffernutter?
Is that stupid peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich?
Yes. I've never heard of it in my life until I went camping with my daughters with AHG, and someone there offered it up. Look, it's a good idea. I'm going to recognize it.
No.
I'm going to eat it.
Dude, no.
Yes, dude.
No,
we are going to eat the fluffernutter. We're going to take the fluffernutter. We're going to put it on white bread, and we're going to eat it.
Marines love their fluffernutters.
No.
I am.
There's no such thing as a friendly set of a contest. Like I've never met, and maybe because my only experiences with them online.
There's definitely no friendly online ones.
Yes, I bet if I met them in person, but it's the same thing with the Latin Mass population. A majority of the people in my parish are not on social media. If they were, they'd have a much worse opinion of me, right? But
that's kind of just everyone, though. I mean, you get blocked by a lot of people.
Yeah. But so if I ever met a set of contests in real life that actually goes to mass and abides by the faith, I bet they are charitable. But the online ones, I've never met one ever in my life. I've never interacted with one. I've never had a decent conversation with any of them. And like I've seen the conversation, like for instance, like the conversation Anthony had with, what was his name, Kevin from Catholic Family Podcast or whatever it is,
something like
that. Sorry if I'm getting the name of it wrong, but he seems like a nice guy. Never had a conversation with him though, right? But the fact that he stands out is the issue, because none of them are charitable or give the benefit of the doubt at all whatsoever.
And the Orthodox are the same way. Like I've met plenty of like old, Russian women, old Russian babushkas who are lovely, lovely Orthodox people. Online Orthobros, no. I mean, apart from Christian Mario, they're all almost to the letter terrible.
And even Christian Mario, after we raised all that money for him, decided to lambaste Catholics.
He's not perfect, but I still like him.
He can take it and shove it too.
Are you blocked by him?
I don't think so. I don't really interact.
Just Wagner.
Just Wagner. Wagner, because he didn't like me doing an AI picture of him taking a selfie.
Not everyone gets your humor, Adrian.
He's got the skin thickness of wet toilet paper. He just doesn't know how to take a joke. It's sad. It really is.
I mean, he's a little.
The sad part is, like, he was the one attacking people for like blue collar values.
Yeah.
And then you get offended and block somebody immediately. Like, you're not proving your point, buddy. Like, so yeah, that was that's the second time I've been blocked by him. I can't remember what the first time was. I think the first time was when he first converted from Anglicanism, and I said something to him, because he wanted to have authority already, whatever. I think that was the first time he blocked me. But this last one was the best one. That was
the best one.
Definitely worth it.
You've been blocked a good fair number of times when you that was the best one. That was the best one right there.
Like, sometimes when I get blocked, I was like, I deserve that one. That was a good one. That guy did a good thing right there. He needs to get me out of his life. Confirmation and infancy has been done in the Latin Rite countries with high mortality rates. Okay, I believe that. I think the tide of sewage aimed at children makes infant confirmation necessary. So here's my thinking on it. We should not be withholding grace based on age. And we should also, and that comes to the Eucharist, and that comes to confirmation. I understand the reasoning for waiting for confirmation till 13, 14 years old, wherever, 15, whatever it is. I think I got mine at like 15 years old. I understand that, especially because you're basically knighting a soldier of Christ.
Yeah,
right? I get that. That's where the smack comes from and all that, right? But with the amount of temptation we have out there, we do not need to be withholding grace and the sealing of the Holy Spirit from anybody. Which is why I'm not, for instance, like Taylor Marshall had a video a couple of years ago talking about how St. Louis only got the Eucharist like once a year.
Yeah. There's I think 6 times a year, but yeah.
Yeah. And then St. Pius X is really the one who normalized getting it, much more frequently. I think St. Pius X saw the amount of debauchery that we were going to be entering into, and we need all the grace we can get. Like, Sunday Mass for me, for those video game nerds of you, is me getting my health potion again every Sunday. Right? Filling up all 3 of my hearts again, like in Zelda, right? Like that is what it is for me, because I need all the help to get through the week. Like, I struggle to get to Sunday without strangling somebody. Thankfully, it's never my kids. My kids are angels, but it's other people, right? Like I need all the help I can get. And I think St. Pius X saw that, and I don't think we need to be. I don't think we need to be withholding that from anybody. We should be partaking in the Eucharist as often as, if not daily, if you can.
I can see both sides of the argument. Well, for all of it, but especially for that one. Like, I think you're if you're a devoted, faithful Catholic, that is well catechized and is devout, then yeah, daily communion, like you said, it can, in that case, it can't do anything but help.
Mm.
But for, say, maybe your average cradle or cultural Catholic, right, who, when you receive Easter and Christmas, you're probably receiving in a state of mortal sin. Well, then, I think in that case, you need to build that devotion to the Eucharist before you're ready to receive it, often.
I get that, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect people from accountability, right? They are responsible for eating their own damnation.
Well, no, I agree with that. I agree with that, but it's one of those things like when it's limited or when you don't have access to it, right? Your
Yeah.
heart grows fonder for it, in a sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you all a quick reversion story from me. So when I came back to the faith, 2015 or so, I came back and I was at that time. I think we were married like 7 years, and when I came back, I got some really bad advice from a priest who basically told me, "Hey, I know you're married and you didn't get a dispensation. You're really in an invalid marriage, and so you're sinning every time you enjoy the marriage act with your wife. But that'll be between us, and you can receive the Eucharist anyway."
Really?
And so that didn't sit well with me. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. And so I sought the advice from a much more traditional priest. Now he's not a Latin mass priest, but he was a much more Orthodox priest. And he basically told me, well, you're going to hell. And if you don't get this corrected, you're never going to get off that path. You need to get your marriage convalidated or, radical staycation, which we ended up doing. And so from that point on, I never got the Eucharist again. When I was like, that sounds correct to me. That sounds hard, which is what Catholicism is to me. Like it was the hard path. So if it sounds hard, it sounds right. And so I didn't receive the Eucharist again. And then 3 years later, when my wife came into the church, she came into the church and we got our marriage. We had to do a radical sanation,
Right.
Which is basically they went back and investigated our entire marriage and validated it from the beginning, basically. Instead of doing a convalidation where basically I started over. They're like, oh, now you're married now, right? Like, so the last 8 years didn't count. This is now your marriage. But I went without the Eucharist for 3 years. And that first time that I knelt and I received, I was crying like a baby. It was like, and I don't cry. Like my dad died and I didn't cry because it's just like, I just expected it or whatever.
Right.
I felt terrible because I didn't cry when he died. But when I received the Eucharist, I cried. And so, yes, the waiting for it, there is something there. And I think, the absence makes the heart grow fonder, but I also think because of the massive amount of temptation we have out there, the amount of grace that you receive from going to mass, especially with young kids who are crazy and acting like wild feral animals at mass because they're kids.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of graces you're getting just from that, in addition to receiving our Lord into your body and becoming a walking tabernacle for 15 minutes, is helping us to fortify us against the temptation, because these little black boxes are sending people to hell every day. In fact, I was on Twitter the other day, or X, I keep calling it Twitter.
It is Twitter.
Video.
I will dead name it forever. I'm sorry.
I was watching a video and I just started scrolling through videos, and then like 4 videos in, porn started popping up. And like I never look at that stuff ever. So it's not my algorithm, it's what it's trying to shove on me.
Yeah.
And so then like I'm getting off of it. I'm like, did I did I linger too long? Do I need to go to, like, I'm now getting scrupulous, right? I'm like, do I need to go to confession now? Like, because I didn't recognize what was going on and I didn't get off of it. So and they're feeding that to us because they want us to see that stuff, because they want us to go to hell, because they want us to be miserable like they are. And so we have all this temptation around us. We should be receiving as much reinforcements as we can. And that's why I'm a big fan of getting all three of them at birth. If I could have done that for all my kids, I would have. I've only got one kid left that hasn't had their first communion. She's 5. She'll turn 6 next month, here in a couple of weeks, actually. But she's still got another year before I can get her first communion. And I hate that for her because I wish she could do it now.
Yeah, like my oldest Maddie turns 7 in a month, right? But based on when they start preparation for, like, he'll be 8 right before he ends up receiving it. It's like he's been ready for a year already.
Yeah. My daughter's 5. She could get it now. She knows exactly what it means because we talk about it all the time. Like every Sunday is like, we'll talk about what we talk about, the homily or whatever the feast day was that day. And like my kids are aware. We make sure to talk about those things. And like my daughter is educated enough down to where she could. But she has to wait just because it's an arbitrary number they've pulled out that it has to be 7 years old. I mean, if I pushed for it, I think my parish would let me to do it. But I think some of the hang up for me is like she's 5, but she looks 4 or a big 3, because she's just so tiny.
Yeah.
But, and I don't want to have to answer those questions all the time. And I think it might just be easier on her if we just wait. Just wait till she's 7.
Yeah, my second child, he turns 5 next month. And he just is starting to grow to 3T stuff. So he is really small too. And like when he's 7, he's gonna look 5. Whereas my 6-year-old who's about to turn 7 looks like he's 9. Right. Whenever we go to mass, especially someplace new, I'm always like making sure he doesn't accidentally get doesn't get an accidental first communion.
Yeah. Oops. Well, I guess we got to do it every now. We're going to do it all the time now. We jumped into that one. I think this means it's time to schedule your prostate exam. This is what that means.
This is what Vor's Nipples thinks.
Vor's Nipples.
Oh, man.
I can't believe that guy's trying to make a comeback.
It does not surprise me in the slightest.
I can believe it, but
you can't believe that it looks like it's going to
more
work.
People aren't seeing through it.
No, it's going to work. Which is what's really disgusting.
Yeah, in 6 months he'll be right back into it.
Yep.
And it'll be like nothing happened.
Lila Rose will have him on before Easter. I'm betting on that.
Matt Fradd will have him on back for the reckoning. And they will excommunicate Taylor Marshall again. It's just, man, I'm just so done with it.
I don't understand how people like didn't see through him to begin with, let alone still are not seeing through him.
I mean, I think the first time I heard his voice, this guy's putting on an act.
This is
just
fake.
because of his voice. And then I heard him talking on that voicemail, and then I realized his voice is an act. Like, that's not his real voice. That's not how he talks.
Right.
At least that's not how he talked on that voicemail.
To be fair, I could have gone my whole life without ever hearing that voicemail. I really could have.
I've seen some horrible things in my life. I've seen a lot of things I never want to see or even see a second time or even hear a second time. And that's up there. That is definitely up there. One of those things I never want to hear or see ever again. But it just shows that this is just about money for him. Like, he never had an exit plan. It was like social media fame or nothing.
Well, it was probably acting or nothing, and then the acting fell through. So this is probably
Yeah.
plan B, which he's probably had to use a few times. Sorry.
I'm not laughing because it's
right. It was not good.
I really shouldn't have laughed at that, but it's true. He probably has had to use it, or he's made someone use it a few times. I've got no problem with Taylor Marshall being wealthy whatsoever. I don't have any problem with anybody being wealthy, as long as you're doing something with it, And Taylor Marshall does. Like y'all may not know this, but
hasn't made his money on a nonprofit, right?
Yes.
I mean,
his is all from books and his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
but he also does a lot with his money for people who need it. We'll say that. I know for a fact he helps out a lot of people that need it. So I have no problem with, and he's I don't ever watch his channel anymore. I haven't watched it probably in a couple of years. I'm just not interested in that content anymore. But I will always take up for Taylor Marshall forever and always. He's I know for a fact some people he's assisted and how he's helped them. So I will always look out for him.
he's always been a good guy every time I've talked to him, and like
his character. You know his character because the amount of people that come after him, he never goes after them to defend himself.
No,
even when Voice of Reason came after him, right, or anybody else, he never gives them the time of day and defends himself.
Even in like private messages with him, like he makes a few more jokes about some things than he does publicly, but
yeah,
he still never like bad mouths anyone
No.
in any private message I've been in with him.
And that he really is like the on-ramp to traditional Catholicism. Right? He's like the he's like, I hate to say it, but he's in that same level as Jack Posobiec. Like he's like your first interaction with actual Catholicism.
Yeah, I didn't know anything with Jack Posobiec until like the last couple of years, though.
Yeah, well, Jack.
Maybe if you're big into the mega scene, right? Then maybe Jack is, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, but most people in the magazine, their first interaction with somebody who's actually Catholic is Jack Posobiec.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So, but
I was never really into the mega scene. So,
but because like Taylor Marshall is your first interaction with, for most people, with traditional Catholicism,
and that's just because he's the most prominent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's
if you search TLM on YouTube, you're gonna get his videos.
Look, I'm gonna give his best books he's ever written are his Rome, the Eternal City, the Jewish Carpenter, I think is what it's called, and something else. Like his first 3 books are the best books he's ever written. His Sword and Serpent stuff is fun. My kids love it.
Yeah, I like the fiction stuff.
But like Infiltration, not even in the top 5 of his best books.
Did you read the Antichrist and the Apocalypse, or I think that's what it's called?
I was on the launch. I've been on the launch team for almost every one of his books in Infiltration.
I thought that was better than Infiltration for sure.
Yeah, it that one reminded me of Scott Hahn.
Yeah,
and how he wrote it. It reminded me a lot of that. But his 3 best books are by far his 3 first. Especially if you're wanting to introduce just Catholicism to someone. The Jewish Rabbi is the first one. Jesus, the Jewish Rabbi, I think is what it's called. But if you ever want to introduce someone to Catholicism, those are the 3 best books to give them. someone who's just inquiring about it. But you know, you'll never hear me bad talk. Even though like I disagree with him on stuff, and I think he's a little milk toast on some topics. I'll never bad mouth Taylor Marshall ever. He's done more good for this community. He's had some faux pas, like his. I don't know if you remember that video of him about the dream he had. Like,
Yeah,
that was really
I maybe
weird.
would have kept that one private.
Yeah, he needs to wipe the internet of that one if he can. But other than that, like you know, he's been pretty on point with a lot of stuff. You know, but for instance, like Michael Matt, for like before the 2020 election, he was idolizing Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. And now he's not. So like everyone has their low points. You know, mine is usually around 80s rock, but for most other people, you know, it's usually due to decisions they make. But you know, everyone has that. So like I don't hold it against any of them.
I'm pretty sure your low point was your emo phase, bud.
I'm gonna find y'all some pictures of those days.
You do need to find me those pictures.
I'm gonna show y'all. I had long hair, like down to my shoulders, and I had a lip piercing. I had a tongue piercing. You're shocked now. I see it.
No. I mean, I was never emo or anything, but my wife was, and I always had a thing for like the emo girls, like the scene girls. So,
bro, especially like it was an easy transition into the Marines because like the first couple of years I was a Marine, like the big booty goth girls was a thing. Which is
wait,
like,
when did you join the Corps? What year?
2005.
Okay, yeah.
So they like a year and a half before was when My Chemical Romance came out with their the Black Parade album.
Yeah.
It was like 2003-ish, I think, is when it came out. It might have been 2004, right before I joined. But that was, man, that talk about some nostalgia from the emo songs.
One of the first dates I had with my wife, we went to Warped Tour.
Nice.
Yeah. She got so sunburned because she's like 90% Norwegian, right? From Minnesota. Yeah. Pale skin is all heck, and she then put sunscreen on, spent 6 hours out in the sun. She got so sunburned that she turned scaly, like not just blistered, but then scaly.
Yeah.
She was delirious for 3 days from like sun sickness, and had those tan lines from what she wore for 3 years. It didn't tan her skin. It like cooked her skin with radiation.
One of the first concerts I went to was after the 2000s was Incubus and Hoobastank.
Ooh.
And then I come to find out that was one of the first concerts that my wife went to, was that same tour, right? When we got married, I was right before I deployed in 2011. There was an outdoor fest in South Carolina, and like Skillet played. As I Lay Dying. No, was that LA? No, wasn't As I Lay Dying. Who else was there? Man. Oh, it was a female band. Flyleaf was there. Trying to think of who else. But I got so burnt because I had like a cut off sleeve shirt. You know,
yeah.
I was there with my wife, and I got so burnt. And I deployed like 2 weeks later. I still had sunburn 2 weeks later as I'm putting on my pack to go to Afghanistan. Yeah, it was a rough couple of days when I first got there. yeah, man, I'll listen to it now. I went to Creed last year. Creed came to Birmingham with Three Doors Down. Have you seen what's happening with the singer from Three Doors Down? He's got like stage 4 cancer, man. He looks like he just walked out of Auschwitz. It's bad.
Well, hold on. Narrative Auschwitz or real Auschwitz?
Narrative Auschwitz.
Okay.
Yeah, like Schindler's List Auschwitz. But
No, I didn't know. I didn't know he was
yeah,
dealing with that.
he was. So we went to the Creed concert. And it was at the Oak Mountain Amphitheater here in Birmingham, and but when like Three Doors Down, legitimately was a better show than Creed.
Creed.
It was just a way better set. And Creed came on. It was like a lot of pyrotechnics. It was great. You know, it was Creed. You know, but Three Doors Down was much more personable about his set. It was a lot better. Man, I was killing. So I was driving up from Kentucky. This is super boring to y'all. I know this, but I was driving up from Kentucky, and I was just going through like a '90s like alternative rock stream. Like I was listening to like Pearl Jam and Creed and Alice
I can
Chain.
promise you, and you probably won't admit to this, but I promise you that you listened to Photograph by Nickelback, didn't you?
I love Nickelback. I've never been on the I hate Nickelback train ever. I love Nickelback. Look, they're about the only Canadians I like.
Brian Holdsworth and Kennedy Hall. Sorry, guys.
I like Kennedy. He's a good dude. I don't watch his stuff anymore because it's all on Pelican Plus, and I just never go to Pelican Plus.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. Canadians are few and far between that I like. Few and far between. Like I don't even watch any of Brian Holdsworth stuff. I just can't, I don't have the time.
What about Pentile?
I will listen to Pantile. I will listen to him occasionally, but he's like a year 1 to 3 Catholic type of listen. Like you have to be like just newly into Catholicism to really appreciate what he's putting out right now.
I don't think Sean
bad.
here.
I just said I don't like you.
I don't think Sean is even the only Canadian. Oh no, he is a kid. Okay. He is the only Canadian.
In Ottawa. I used to listen to My Chemical Romance driving around all the time. I lived in Fort Myers Beach for like a year before I joined the Marines, and man, the amount of emo coming out of my car. Alkaline Trio was like one of my favorite bands. I like Pelican Plus. I've liked a lot of some of their stuff. They like their Advent stories were good, and their Christmas stuff was good. Just as far as like their consistent content, like Kennedy Hall and Kosnevsky and all those guys, I just don't have the time to listen to their stuff. I've cut back a lot of my podcast time, and I have to really prioritize who I listen to now. And some of what I listen to is because I need to listen to it because it keeps me abreast of current events. So I don't really get to listen to a lot of stuff that I want to listen to all the time. And I don't drive as much as I used to because I have an office and I make everybody come to me now. But so it's really cut down to it. So a lot of that stuff goes to waste for me. But for instance, like they had the Queen, what is it? Queen of the Universe? What was that? The one who do the Emphasis album?
Benedictines of St. Mary.
Is that the Benedictine? I thought it was like Benedictines of the Queen of the Universe or something.
No.
They
do Christmas at Ephesus.
Yeah, Christmas at Ephesus, Advent at Ephesus.
Yeah,
and all
the
that.
Benedictines of St. Mary.
Like I had those streaming basically for like a week for the kids and everything to listen to. They loved it.
All I'm going to say on the topic is I was too involved with it to give a fair answer to that question.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't expect you to answer that, but I've liked it, and I didn't expect to like it. I thought it was going to be stupid and gay, but it's worth the money, I would say. I don't listen to or read a lot of Dr. K's stuff, so he might be what's drawing a lot of people there, but not me. I'm not the reason. He's not the reason I'm drawn to it. But I say that, and I just bought a Dr. K book this weekend.
Which one?
It's his new one about the priesthood and the laity.
I haven't. The last one I read was
there was a really cool little Catholic bookstore in Louisville I found while we were there, and they had like a little chapel in there, but they had one of his books in there. But they had some they had a nice arrangement of books. I'll say that they had Timothy Gordon's Case for Patriarchy right next to like Peter Kreeft. Like it was like they were hitting everything in there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big pre-55 guy too. I think if we ever revert everything to the Latin Mass, it needs to go to the restore the 54, especially Holy Week. But a lot of the octaves and such that were lost after 54 is a big issue for me. I think it really waters down the liturgical year, the amount of octaves and ember days and stuff that we've removed out of the calendar.
For sure.
I think, in my opinion, and we'll finish with this because I know it's getting late for everybody.
You said, an hour ago, you said you were.
I know, an hour ago. We're going to take a couple more questions and we'll be done. I think we need to be unapologetically Catholic. I think we need to be in your face Catholic. And I think a lot of Americans don't realize it, but they want us to be. And I think they want a reason to be Catholic. And I think if we have a lot of men who are willing to stand up and be unashamedly Catholic, then it's going to draw a lot more people to the faith. And I think we're going to start seeing that. I think we're slowly going to start seeing occasionally like a bishop here or a bishop there who allows like one more Latin Mass in their diocese or one more octave to be celebrated throughout the entire diocese and encouraged to celebrate. Or, things are slowly going to happen, and you're going to start seeing men especially seek out the suffering, that the redemptive suffering in Catholicism, and attach themselves to it. And it will be attractive to many more people. And then you will see women start to follow, because women always want to follow strong men. Right. And I, for myself, I was never as strong of a man until I had a reason to be strong, and that was for my family. And once I realized that I had to be strong for them, my wife fell in line.
Yeah. Right.
She no longer, because my biggest concern for my girls is the curse of Eve. Like I have one daughter, I know I'm just going to have to quell that in her, because her desire to be the boss all the time and to lead all the time and be right all the time is just so prevalent that I'm going to have to figure out a way to help humble her to where that's not going to be an impediment to her in the rest of her life. But when I stepped up and I took responsibility for everything, good or bad, right? That is when my wife accepted me as the leader of the household. And now and it's a hard burden because everything's my fault, whether I did it or not, right? Because I'm the leader of the household. If something bad happens to my family, it's my fault.
Yeah.
And that's hard to accept, right? And that's hard to be accountable for that. But it's also freeing to my wife, because now she can relax a lot more to make decisions on the household that she needs to make as the educator and the homemaker. She doesn't have to worry about paying the bills, and she doesn't have to worry about earning the money, and she doesn't have to worry about all the day-to-day decisions that I have to make that is now a burden on me. So that allows her a lot more freedom because she doesn't have to worry about this stuff anymore. So,
Yeah.
All right, we are going to cut it now because
For real this time.
For real. No more Midwestern goodbyes. We're going to go straight to an Irish goodbye and say goodbye.
I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and bombs trying to take my life.